ICT and Constructivism by Meg Cloak. Constructivism is self-directed, self-regulated learning where students create and are in charge of their own learning. They integrate social interaction, environmental factors, and self-reflection in order to widen and further their own learning parameters. Responsibility, autonomy, and cooperative teamwork are all encouraged in constructivist approaches. ICT, information and communication technology. It's any software, hardware, or programs used to gather, communicate, or manipulate knowledge. ICT is a general capability in the Australian National Curriculum. With over $2.4 billion spent on ICT in recent years, it's very important that ICT is implemented properly in classrooms. These are the 3 ICT learning tools that I've chosen: Brainscape, Canva, and Kahoot. Let's get into Brainscape. So Brainscape is an online platform for flashcard decks. So you can search online, you can share with friends, and it allows for learning to be spaced out over days and weeks rather than crammed, so the spacing of Flex allows for better long-term memory retention and recall. Let's study our decks. So it comes up with questions. Students write the questions, they write the answers, and they test themselves. Why do humans need a bony skeleton? You reveal the answer. Depending on how well you know the answer, not at all to perfectly, you choose a score. So I knew it about a 4, and it comes up, and that pretty much always increases. The 78% mastery over here, the mastery percentage. This is using augmentation, creating bite-sized chunks of info that only need a couple of minutes here and there. Brainscape is perfect for less competent students, therefore, that can use the program to help increase their feelings of autonomy and mastery. It can take it home, they can learn with their parents. It's specifically good for students with lower intellectual abilities, who are less competent and who can gain a sense of competence and mastery from this. Brainscape can be used by teachers as a pre-class quiz to prime interest or create a thirst for knowledge by using the quiz before class or after class as a revision tool to consolidate knowledge instead. The display of mastery allows for self-reflection and self-assessment, which are constructivist approaches, so students can reflect on their learning and the effectiveness of their learning tools. Brainscape is student-centered. Students write their own questions, their own answers, and they decide how many cards they want and how difficult they want the questions to be. It can be used to support diverse learners of all ages and levels. Students work at the right time, at the right level. Creating the cards, testing themselves, autonomy, mastery are increased, and that increases perception of self-efficacy and hopefully increases intrinsic motivation to learn and achieve. Brainscape is quite safe as it's a solidary tool, but responsibly referencing is always important as well. Strengths: Brainscape can be played anytime, anywhere, quick and easy. It's rewarding, and mastery percentage is displayed. No punishment for wrong answers, so really there's no fear of failure. Weaknesses are that students can overrate their sense of achievement, and also it only assesses memory pretty much, so it doesn't assess Bloom's higher order thinking skills of analyzing, creating, and evaluating. Next up is Kahoot. So Kahoot is an online learning platform. You can make quizzes, jumbles, surveys, discussions, online games. It's global. You can do it as a group, a small group, big group, whole class, all by yourself. You can create your own Kahoots here. Here are the questions. You press play. Cool. So it's optimally used in a group context. Learning self-directed. Students provide scaffolding for individuals at the right time, at the right level. It's a fun, engaging, personal, creative, and autonomous way of learning. Cooperative and collaborative learning is emphasized here. The focus on social learning helps create an inclusive classroom. Interpersonal skills, social skills, respect, sharing, and sense of belonging are all encouraged in Kahoot. Kahoot is specifically helpful for diverse learners, such as members of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island community who originate from collectivist cultures, whereby teamwork, relationship, roles, and responsibilities are emphasized. Roles can easily be designated in Kahoot. One member might collect images, another questions, and so on. In this example, Kahoot is used to study religion. To foster intercultural understanding and appreciation, students belonging to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community have been asked to tell their story of creation, adding images and so forth, then the whole class is asked to maybe add some intersubjectivity, relating it to Noah's Ark and maybe putting up some Australian animals that may have made it onto the Ark or some animals at all worldwide. Artwork should include the Aboriginal word for the animal, helping to bring prominence to the first languages and help preserve Aboriginal cultural identity. Students might be asked to create a role play based on their creation story, taking written knowledge and transforming it into social knowledge in order to particularly benefit diverse learners of collectivist cultures. Kahoot can be implemented safely through teachers' screen monitoring. It's holistic, fulfilling learning experience. It creates teamwork, and teachers get student breakdowns of marks, and this can help to increase the zone of proximal development for students. It increases referencing and responsibility here, and teachers monitoring make sure students are safe. The weaknesses of Kahoot are that sometimes it can increase too much screen time, and sometimes if students get lost in the device, it's actually decreasing social time rather than increasing it. This is a SAMR modification tool whereby tech allows for task redesign to improve learning. Next up we have Canva. So Canva, you can add images, words to whatever you want. So here we're doing English. We've taken our favorite novels or the novels that we're studying in class and added a quote with images. So you can add any images you like. Here's a big bank over here you can upload from your computer, and you can make things smaller, bigger, whatever. You can add student names or you can leave student names out. So Canva, SAMR model is a transformational tool. It's a redefinition tool that creates a task of pairing images and words. Students are learning through constructivism by directing their own learning. Through guided self-discovery learning, a teacher provides guidance and instructions, and the student hence embarks upon their own personal learning journey. Canva ignites creativity and self-expression without being too difficult or too arty to use. Canva creations can be printed and displayed around the room to foster students' pride and sense of achievement and to allow students to learn from each other. Canva can create a diverse learning experience, especially for students with dyslexia who might like to use images and creative and artistic outlets rather than the written word to express themselves. So pretty much Canva definitely benefits anyone who prefers visual learning styles to linguistic styles. Canva is a solitary platform, therefore it's pretty safe. Cyberbullying shouldn't be a problem, but teachers should definitely monitor work and make sure it's appropriate before they publish or display the work. If applicable, responsible referencing should be employed by students and enforced by teachers. Strengths of Canva: it's easy to use, does not require much creativity or resourcefulness or artistic skill, and pretty much anyone can create professional looking work. Canva can encourage intersubjectivity through combining art, design, photography, and literature into a creative, expressive, and enjoyable learning experience. Canva creates experiential learning, and in this English class, it can create interest in literature. It allows students to make novels, characters, and quotes their own and view them in relationship to themselves, not just as a required text that they're forced to learn. Canva is a design tool and does not create a holistic learning experience, but when you combine it with other learning tools, it can provide a fulfilling learning experience. So that's the weakness of Canva. That's my learning and constructivism through ICT with references. Thank you.